All right. Good morning, wonderful people. I hope that you have started the discussion one already in Google Classroom. I simply want to stop and talk about a couple of the things. For the first few questions, I think you can probably do them mostly by yourself. If you read well, you'll be able to notice a lot of differences between George and Lenny. Um, George, who seems to lead, and Lenny, who seems to follow. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of foreshadowing already. You maybe picked up on some of Lenny's weird habits. So pay close attention to those. Um, Pay close attention to why they got kicked out of the last town that they were in, um, as well as what's going to happen if Lenny finds himself in trouble again. All of that is foreshadowing. For number three, I just kind of want to hear your best thoughts. Why do you think George stays with Lenny? He complains about him a lot, but there is a reason there. Pay close attention to the story that they have about the rabbits and start to think about that. What do these two men have in common? What do they share? But I want to talk about number four explicitly. I'd love it if you could write down some of your own thoughts, but here are my thoughts slash answers, so this hopefully will be helpful to you. First of all, I'm about to say a lot of really words that make me really uncomfortable, and so I apologize. Um, there's kind of two, I think, different categories of the bad language, right? There's a lot of profanity that treats lightly what is sacred, right? So they say things like God a lot and goddamn a lot, and they use the Lord's name in vain a lot, right? And so they're taking what is sacred and making light of it, which I struggle with. And the other thing is there's lots of crudeness, and you'll notice this when there start to be some more women characters, but so far there's been lots of words like bastards or son of a bitch or like just language that is crude or demeaning. Um, so those are kind of the two categories that we're going to kind of talk about more. We're not going to, use those words a lot, but just kind of so we're aware of what they are. Um, Here is what I think is going on. I think that it is human nature sometimes to try to cover the things that we are afraid of um, with like a tough facade, right? It's the reason why someone asks how you are, it's easier to say fine than to give an honest answer. Um, and I think that broadly speaking, a lot of people, if I'm going to be stereotypical, I would say especially a lot of men, because of the world we live in and the expectations we place on them, feel like they don't want to be seen as soft or feminine or wimpy. And so these men in this book, who are men who could very easily be taken advantage of, um, because they're migrant workers, because they go from place to place, because they don't have a home, because they don't have a huge community, are people who could be taken advantage of easily. And so I think they have a lot of fear in their lives. So I think, and one of the things I want us to follow is that their terrible language is a manly facade, right? It is a weapon to keep others away, to keep people from getting too close to seeing the real them. I think it is a weapon that they use to like put forward what they think that they should look like or act like or be like, rather than like being who they actually are. I wonder if anyone of us could relate to that. Probably not. Certainly, I cannot constantly every day of my life. Truly, I think the language in this book is more sad than offensive. Right? These are a bunch of men, George and Lenny especially, George especially, who needs other people, but he can't admit it. Right? He needs community, he needs hope, he needs friends, he needs a lot of things. But because he's scared to appear vulnerable, he uses this terrible, terrible language to come across way less caring and way more aggressive than he actually is. So those are my thoughts on language so far. I want you to pay attention to those things, and that's all I have to say about that. We'll talk more soon. Thank you.